So what makes an investor perspective unique is that we are looking at the long-term value of many of these companies. And so if you look at the S&P 500, say over the last 30 or 40 years, since the 1970s, intangible assets have grown significantly. And so when we're talking about patents, we're talking about brand value, we're talking about the value creation by many of these institutions, and human capital, it is an important component thereof, and therefore we have to include it. We know that each company is very different. Each sector is very different. And so we have to incorporate relevance and materiality to ensure A, that it's relevant, and B, that the actual impact that that particular component is taking an effect on the company's financials is material. When you are looking at data across a variety of different companies, you have to make sure that they are relevant, to make sure that they are material, that the data is standardized, and that the data is comparable. So be able to assess the opportunity set. And so ultimately, it's not only on the investment side, but it's also very important to ensure that companies are disclosing this information in a way that allows investors to incorporate that information, not only as opportunity sets, but also for risk management. So diversity and inclusion can be both a financial and a social decision. However, first and foremost, is a financial decision. There are multiple studies that have demonstrated the link between financial performance and diversity and inclusion. Companies are driven by the bottom line. They're driven by their earnings and what they can deliver in terms of shareholder value. If they incorporate diversity and inclusion, not only will they be making a social decision, but even more importantly, they'll be making a financial decision by adding and being accretive to shareholder value and adding to the value proposition for their shareholders as well. Standardization should be based by company and by sector. Of course, you can always have a similar type of approach in terms of what type of information you're going to disclose, but in terms of the information itself, that will always be tailored to the company and to the sector and the types of issues that company is particularly facing. It could be based by country, it could be based by regulation, it could be based by type of vertical or horizontal integration. So ultimately, standardization is a thing that we seek, but not to the point where it becomes boilerplate.